Hello, everybody, and welcome to the OCRP iRacing Cup Series tonight at Dover. And we are almost out of time when it comes to the season. We're finishing things up strong at Dover before moving over to Charlotte next week to crown ourselves a champion. Now, in the Truck Series, the champion's already been crowned, and that is Nick Sargent. So Nick Sargent looking good in practice. And we'll talk a little bit about this here shortly, but I have to talk to the one, the only. I haven't got to talk to these guys yet because I just ran in here from all the moving madness going on. I'm joined by Siv Ryan, Mr. Joe Cortez, and I believe Tony might join us in the doing pit road stuff, but he's going to be race control tonight, and he's very happy to have his internet back. Ryan, how you doing, Joe? Ready for some racing at Dover on the concrete? I probably have them muted.
Well, Jeff, you're currently muted in our ears right now, so
there
I had
to
go home stream to hear you. But yeah, I'm ready to go. The Monster Mile is always a lot of fun. The Monster Mile is always a challenging mile for everybody out here. It's always a challenging concrete. And you know what? These guys are going to be working hard to keep these cars under control for the entirety of tonight's race.
How you doing, Ryan?
Oh, doing good. Sorry.
Oh, hey there. Didn't see you there.
You were talking? No?
Yeah, I was talking the whole time. I'm sorry. I had it muted in Discord, but they heard me. I mean, like,
it's fine.
Yeah.
I see how it is. You don't want to talk to us.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh man, I just cracked open a bit. Like, it's just, yeah.
Last stream in Florida, baby.
Last stream in Florida.
This is it. This is the swan song.
Yep. Ready to talk some racing for sure to get my mind off some things. Look at this right now. Track temperature 95 degrees. Now, when you see the speeds we saw in practice, it's a similar thing we saw in the Truck Series, and that is, those lap times were looking really, really good, and then the track starts to heat up, and those times will fall down. So what you see on the screen right now, as far as performance in practice, will not translate to the race. We now know that is the case. Look at this, though. Winds northwest at 14, almost 15 miles per hour, and we haven't seen that in a very long time.
I miss when winds were 1 mile an hour out the north.
Don't we all?
Yes, we definitely do. Yeah, so the truck race was wonderful. We saw the champion get crowned, which is Nick Sargent. He's very thrilled about it, clearly. We heard that on the broadcast. But joking aside, I think we're in for a good treat. I think it's going to come down to, tire wear and watching guys that are going to take care of that right front. That is how you're going to win this race. And we saw that happen on Thursday. However, things are a little bit different with the next-gen car compared to the trucks. A lot of guys talking about the track conditions being real skatey and icy out there. So we might see some spins definitely out of turn number 2.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how these cars handle compared to those trucks, Jeff, because those trucks felt really good on Monday night. Like, they felt planted. Like, it was very hard to cause a caution, even though I was involved in both the cautions that happened that night.
You don't
through no
say.
fault of my own.
Nah.
Through no fault of my own. But,
no, not at all.
Hey, Tony, you there?
I'm here.
All
Tony,
right.
what's the word on the street about how the cars are feeling?
Well, a lot of guys are talking about the cars kind of feeling like there's no suspension travel. They're bottoming out in the corners and just kind of grinding on the track. So it's a little tough to get the traction down. And one driver told me if you're off the gas, you have no traction. So it's almost like a high downforce car in some cases. So everybody's struggling a little bit with it tonight.
It's something else to keep. Like I say, something else to keep in mind too is these cars, these next generation Cup cars, are a whole lot different than the trucks. Not only in horsepower, not only in shape and downforce, but it's also the suspension. These things have the double wishbone suspension on them and the bigger wheels on them. So what does that mean? It means that these cars are going to handle a lot different than the trucks out there. It means that there's really going to have to be careful, especially coming out of turn 2, because all you have to do is get a little too much gas on there, and those back tires will go spinning, and you will end up going end over end and potentially causing a big one down the backstretch.
And we're watching that 88 of Wes Graham, and we're keeping an eye on the points. And I know, Joe, you're definitely into the stats when it comes to iRacing. So give us a rundown quickly on what we can expect out of not only this race and what drivers need to perform tonight, but also moving into Charlotte. I think it's still going to be pretty close. And look at that, the 88 gets in the wall.
Yeah, it's very, very apt that you would bring him up as he gets right into the wall there. 11 right now, as it stands. Wes Graham is your points leader, remains your points leader coming out of last week's race. 446 points in total, with four wins, 2 poles, 10 top fives. Nick Sargent right behind him with only 26 points behind him. So Nick Sargent's still in the fight, as is the fan favorite. Let's hear it, chat, for your guy, Brandon Boggs,
which just crashed.
Just wrecked it there.
But he got his time, so it's fine.
He had plenty of time. He's got his time. He's good. He is only 30 points back. So right now, even though Leonard Foderero came back and won a big one last week, is currently your leader in wins with 6 wins out there. Really, it's a fight between 3 guys: Wes Graham, Nick Sargent, Brandon Boggs, and it really will come down to tonight's race. What happens with these guys, what happens with how they're able to perform out here. And if we do have a strong showing from all 3 of those guys, Graham, Sargent, and Buggs, it really could be a photo finish in Charlotte.
That's exactly what we want, and that's the reason why we got rid of the drop weeks, so it would actually come down to the wire, and the finishing would not be decided early on in the season. And you can see that, that mentality changing for the drivers because of how they're going to approach this race, rather than if they knew, hey, somebody's already been crowned a championship, they've already been crowned the champion, so why am I out here fighting? These guys are going to be, and you're going to see it tonight. Robert Bearder turning some laps, but have a look here. You got Lance on the pole right now. Foderero in second. Charles Gray with that run will put him P3 on the starting grid, and then you got Carpenter and Graham with good runs, and there's Gould, Sargent, Buggs. So a lot of the guys that we're seeing here in the fight for the championship performing really well tonight.
Like we saw on Monday, though, Jeff, I think it's lap times, and you said it in Monday's race. Qualifying and lap times don't necessarily mean no thing. It comes down to racecraft and racing in the first few laps to see who can get out in front and get that clean air early, because it's going to be 2x2 battles for, I would say, the first 4 laps here.
And there's that reverse that we saw, and he blew the engine because, why not?
Some of us are trying to take this seriously, Bugs. Yeah, okay, you're out here making a fool. Oh my God.
5 minutes or 40 seconds remaining in qualifying before we move into the actual drivers meeting, which usually is Tony saying a few words, and then they skip right on ahead and get you going, and we'll have your starting grid for you. But you can see how they're going to line up here so far, and I think we're in for a treat as far as the racing goes here at Dover. These cars are fast. They're going to be loose. We're going to see guys that are going to be taking the approach of corner entry on the high side and diamonding the corner. And you might be going, hey, what do you mean diamonds? Well, we're talking about, entering the corner at the very top and then bringing it down. Think of like a triangle on the actual corner, and that's what you want to do. You want to diamond as much as possible. So you see guys on the very, very top, almost at the wall there for the entire entry to the corner, so they can try to get a good straight run right off the bottom there. That's the fastest way around. However, if you miss that mark, you get so loose and you fight the car off the corner. That's where we're going to see some people spin.
Diamonds, you say? Yep, it's different.
Shine bright like a diamond.
If you run road racing, or you watch F1, there's a racing line. There's a pretty standard braking point and then hit your apex. On these tracks, it's a bit different. Like Jeff was saying, yeah, enter high, come on out low, and it's when you're doing it, it's actually a lot of fun because you feel like you can feel the momentum gain halfway through the corner by making that diamond, and it's a lot of fun. And this track itself is a lot of fun. I had a blast on Monday night with the high banking on this track. This is a really fun track to race on.
Funny you should mention the high banking there. 24 degrees in each sets of turns. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 9 degrees on the straights. Why does that matter? It matters because these guys can carry a lot of speed on this track. It means they can absolutely whip it around, but that does create some problems for them. It creates some problems on understanding where the braking zones are. It creates problems for understanding how to manage your tires. And really, at the end of the day, guys, I think this race is going to be won and lost on pit road.
You bring up a good point. We saw a lot of green flag racing that happened on Monday, and we might see the exact same thing happening here tonight. And we will get the right pit lane shot for you there. There we go. 200 miles around this place. It is the Monster Mile, so we don't even have to do any math tonight. It's just 200 laps. We already know that going into it. And you approach this race, like you said, on pit road. So, you know, we saw guys that knew what they were doing. That was on pit road on Monday with the Truck Series. We talked about who won the championship in the Truck Series. Is that whole thing is just completely wrapped up. But the 67 of Favignano here, that was the winner on Monday, and we'll see if that translates over here to the next gens.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll be seeing his car up front quite a few times as he sits. Did he get pole tonight? Do I see him? Is that no, or is that Lance?
It's Lance on the pole, yeah.
Ooh, Jason Lance.
Jason Lance always super fast in qualifying, and then something kind of falls apart for him there. But man, talk about attrition. He does drive all the way back through the field. We saw him do that at Richmond after having that failed start there. So remember there, Jason Lance, that you need to go on the green with the flagman, not with the Geico restart zone, which we will see tonight. And it is out of turn number 4 there, more than further down towards the start finish line. So it's going to make the restarts a lot more interesting.
Yeah, Jeff, but let me just throw this out real quick about Jason Lance. What's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. And what's cooler than that? An ice cold icy. That's why I've got the polar bear on my card to pick up a top 5 tonight. I feel like he's been the bridesmaid, but never the bride, but tonight could be his big night.
Well, they are off of pit road already, so let's get your starting grid for you. On row number 1 on the pole is Jason Lance and Leonard Favignano in the 67.
Go ahead, Joe.
Charles Gray will start in the inside of row number 2. On the outside of him, the Chevrolet Camaro of 77, Kyle Carpenter.
Row 3, we got the 88 of West the Best Graham, and the 14, the Canadian guy, Nick Gould.
Row number 4, Nick Sargent and Brandon Buggs.
Rounding out your top 10 will be the 89 of James Hilton on the inside, Ryan Steinhoff on the outside.
I don't know why I'm channeling Randy Savage, but look at here, brother. We got Joe Ogle in the 55.
You guys are running out of time.
Cream the crop, 55, Cleve's Irish.
Row number 7, Zachary Guzman, Clint Spells.
Row 8 belongs to Rob Bearder and Ben Tuttle.
Speed run, Rick Evans, Alexander Reno.
Row 10, Jeffrey Spells. We did it.
And the stick.
We did it.
The stick, yep. All right. Let's go green flag racing here. Waiting for that flagman. Green flag in the air. I hope the 86 didn't jump it there.
I don't think he did. I think he's good. And good battle going back there for P4, it looks like. As Charles Gray maintains his spot there on the 67 as they come to the back straight there. So far, so good. So far, so green.
Through turns 3 and 4, they maintain their green flag spot, and it will be Lance officially leading lap number 1 on this field. But here comes Favignano. He won last week. He wants to pick up another big one tonight.
A lot of 2x2 racing back here, and the caution comes out already. We got Joe Ogle in the wall, and hold the brake. He did a good job there. Joe Ogle in that 55, not what he wants to start his race with there. Starting P11, a lot of damage to that car. But remember, we get 2 of the fast repairs, and we'll talk about the fast repairs because I was bitten by the bug on Monday. That is not a good bug, by the way. But if you don't uncheck it and you have no damage on your car, it will still use it. So you always got to remember to uncheck it. Lessons learned. All right, let's go ahead and find out what happened to the 55 here, as he was in a lot of trouble here. Down low. It looks like he was loose. Yeah, he was loose off of 4 here.
I want to say net code here. Or maybe he was just loose. I think you're right.
Yeah, just getting off of 4 loose right there. Had help from the 26 and the 16 of Tuttle into the side of him. And Joe Ogle goes for a little bit of a ride there early on. And hopefully this doesn't, make the pace of the race for the night here with early cautions. And I don't think that'll happen. I think they're going to get the nerves off the, out of their system first, and then we'll go from there. So he's going to be on pit road, going to get that car fixed, and then we'll be green flag racing here. Not this time by, but next time. Well, not next time. 2 more laps.
Yeah, but hopefully they get the nerves out, Jeff. What you really want to see now is these guys get the nerves out, just calm down, breathe in, breathe out, relax, and ultimately find their way, kind of find their groove out here. Let the car come to them and start figuring out how they want to make that work underneath them. So we'll see what happens. I don't know that I have that much faith, but we'll see.
A lot of different drivers made a bunch of moves there early on. So, I mean, track position obviously is something they're going to be keeping an eye on. And they were not wasting any time before making some big, bold moves. And one of those drivers was Charles Gray on that start of that race. He's started third, and he's in third right now. But we saw him challenging the 67 early on, utilizing that outside lane.
Yeah, and if you're up front here, like, you don't necessarily want to be battling the guy next to you for too many laps, because like you were saying early on the broadcast there, Jeff, if you're down low battling someone 2x2 around this track, you're going to eat up your tire, and it's just going to hurt you in the long run. So expect guys to see maybe, letting it off and going single file to live to fight another day, and then make their opportunity to pass later on.
Lights are off on the base car. We'll be green flag racing next time.
Lights are off of the base car. 1 more to go, and I agree with that statement, Ryan. Right now, yes, you have fresh tires, but you don't want to push it this early in the race. You just want to play it cool. You want to relax. You want to see what happens to the car. Let it come to you, and start plodding your way down towards the end of the race. You do not win the race on lap 5. You win it on lap 200.
We're about to see if they're going to be as racy as they were on the start of this race, and I have a feeling they will be. And that's going to be Wes Graham there on the inside row. Keep an eye on him. A lot of good drivers. I mean, look at everybody up here in the mix for the championship, and they're bringing it strong here tonight. Remember, this time they will be in the Geico restart zone, so they can restart in that. They do not have to wait for the flagman.
Barney Flagman.
I believe that's his name, yes.
Yep. Bernie
Flagman about to run the green flag over the field. Here we go, back to racing on lap number 5, and Jason Lance freezes the field with a great restart going into 1 and 2.
Side-by-side action right back here by the 88 and 48. You see the 14 of Gould and the 81 of Brandon Buggs battling it out, utilizing that outside, and this is where you get kind of stuck behind the guy, and we got a wreck behind us. That's going to be Clayton Cyrus there, and some others. Spells caught in that one as well.
Ooh.
Clint Spells, not Jeff Spells. Yeah, a lot of damage to his car, unfortunately, there. Really unfortunate for him early on like that when we couldn't even really get you what was going on there. It was just a whole bunch of junk off of turn number 2 there, and we'll find out what happened here in just a few seconds here. If we can back it up in time. I think it had something to do with the 05 here. It looks like he just kind of runs out of room. And he looks like the comes down a little bit on him.
Wall. Yeah, 6 hit the wall there.
Yeah, we back up a little bit further. You can see him actually getting the wall right there. Come down in the 05 and turns them both. And then they were
Of course, it would be the Haviland and Valvoline car getting into each other.
Not wrong about that. Let's see what Cyrus saw here. Was right on board. Just nothing you could do.
Chat's giving me PTSD. They're saying Martinsville 2.0 Electric Boogaloo. How don't you say it? No, because we're gonna need more beer, and I don't want that.
Wait, is that a thing? Are we just popping beers every time we have a yellow flag now?
Oh God, I have to work in the morning. I ain't doing that.
I'm having some beers tonight to forget the pain.
That is Florida.
That is Florida. No, I threw my back out about quarter way through loading the U-Haul.
Oh, shitty, man.
Yep.
That is sad.
Yep, it's real fun. It's that lower left back pain. It's just, and it subsides for a little while, but like if I put any pressure on my left leg, that's when it's just terrible.
Ugh. Back pain is no fun.
No.
I wish you would have said something. I would have come down and helped you move.
It's all good. We got the wonderful Jay. Jay was here the last race here and called the shots with us as well. And he's actually here right now helping out.
What a guy.
What a guy.
Stand-up guy.
If it wasn't for him, we'd be absolutely screwed right now. Because, well, until... well, I mean, I was just moving at this, snail's pace, still doing stuff, but just a lot slower. And Dave, they will fly in tomorrow evening. And then
to help you move?
Well, he's going to be riding in the truck back with me to St. Louis.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Little travel buddy.
Yep, have a travel buddy. And the thing is, we were doing everything right. We had back braces and everything else while we're moving. So it's just one of those things. I have a very terrible back anyway, but.
How long is that drive, Jeff? That doesn't sound like it's a pleasant drive.
It's like 17 hours. So we split it between here, Tampa to Atlanta, overnight in Atlanta, and then go the next day.
So you drive for 2 hours and Dave drives for 15? Sounds like a good split.
No, Dave doesn't drive.
Oh, Dave's not driving?
Nope. We're doing the moving stream, and I have a elaborate setup this time around. So I'll have a decent camera that's not going to be garbage, which was last time we did a phone on the windshield. This time it'll be an actual camera, and I'm going to try to have the webcam for the cab camera. So
Sweet.
If you want to ride along with us, we're going to be going, but it'll be a good 6 hours and 20 minutes tomorrow from Tampa to Atlanta, and then it's going to be the longer stint the next day.
Having filmed in a car with you, Jeff, before, nothing good can come of that video.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, it was an epic night, and I have no regrets whatsoever. We had a blast, but yeah, nothing good can come out of the videos that will come out of it.
I
just having been there, done that. Though I do treasure that video.
Yeah, and if you guys want to watch it, you got to watch it live because they will be deleted off of the channel for copyright reasons. I'm sure we'll be playing music and everything else in there, so we don't go nuts.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Copyright reasons.
Copyright reasons.
Delete the evidence.
The evidence.
Lights are off. One more to go.
Yes, it is. I'm ready for some racing. These guys are pacing.
Yeah, figure it out, guys. All right.
I knew I should have called this thing the Monster Mash 200 because it was going to be a graveyard smash tonight back there in the back. Monster. Barely know her.
It's too early for Halloween.
It's never too early for Halloween. Pace cars off. We are back to racing, and it will be Jason Lance taking them to the Geico restart zone. Will he be able to get another ice cold start in that icy machine? Survey says yes. We're back to racing.
Ooh, look how backed up it got there behind the 88.
Yeah,
Not
something
sure what happened
there.
Did he miss a shift?
He might have missed a shift.
Speaking of missing shifts, he's right next to the 81 car there.
Oh, yeah, that was a Monday mishap.
We let him know about it.
Charles Gray on a tear right now to the bottom of the 67. Going to force him to the outside lane. He's just going to take the draft with the 86 here off the 4.
But the 67 definitely not one to be trifled with. He wants to make his move the hard way on the outside, and he's got a little bit of help from Charles Gray. Drag race to the backstretch.
Meanwhile, up front, they are still battling for that lead spot. And like I was saying, Jason Lance is going to be burning up his tires down there if he continues to battle for that spot. And look at this. Charles Gray says, thank you very much. I'll go on the outside of you and see if I can pass you.
The caution comes out once again, and we'll find out who that was. That looks like it might have been a huge mess back here around Ben Tuttle in the 16. And we'll back things up here and find out what just transpired. We were just getting started with some good racing. And it looks like it happened around the 13 of Jeffrey Spells. Might have had some problems getting off of turn number 4. That's exactly what happened here. As you see him getting loose. We talked about it all night when we first started this broadcast about how, the cars are going to be loose off of 4 like this. And there's just trying to save it, trying to do what he can do. Everybody's hitting the brakes. And the 70 was not... was not in the wrong there. It looked like he got ran over by Robert Webb and company with the 16 there. because the issue I see right there is, yeah, everybody's hitting the brakes and slowing up for the spinning car, and nobody got the memo. That was a hard lick, though. That's going to be damage for the 91. That's going to be damage for the 13, the 70, and some others. So, Leonard Favignano is your leader right now, albeit slow start to the race so far. Come on, guys.
Well, I must say, I think we expected this a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
You know, we knew that these guys were going to be racy. We knew they had a fast car. And again, this Cup car is very different from the truck. So while you can whip around that truck a little bit different, this double wishbone suspension is not as forgiving as a single axle on the back of those trucks. So it will make it a lot more messy, especially coming off the turns, compounded by the weather.
100%. And, you know, it's interesting. We're seeing it out of the same group that we see it, you know, week after week. It's there towards the back, and those guys, you know, they're not as experienced as the guy in the front, and is comfortable with the track car combo, whatever it may be. So we're seeing these early jitters get out of the way. But what's interesting, a lot of those guys that are wrecking in the back, and you're having all these problems, we didn't see that out of those drivers on Monday, the ones that were there. So it's anybody's guess. I mean, I really do think I do empathize. I know that it is difficult to deal with a track like Dover, especially when it's hot and slick like this. But we also have to make our decisions whenever it comes to, you know, making moves on each other. Take it easy. It's only lap 15. Well, 16 now.
Hey, Tony, you there?
I'm here.
I'm hearing some chatter on the radio. Can you enlighten us? There's some spicy chatter from what I can kind of hear. Can you enlighten us to what's going on with the drivers and if anyone's parked their car?
We have had the 6-car park it for the night. There's a few guys not too happy with the way people are reacting to things they might see in their windshield. There's been some accusations of some ARCA brakes going on here. A little upset that they're having to use fast repairs at lap 15.
I mean, I do get it. We saw it. We saw guys getting. When we say ARCA brakes, it's kind of a running joke in the NASCAR community when we talk about it. But in the ARCA series, they're known for guys, you know, not hitting the brakes whenever there's a wreck in front of them. And that's whenever we say ARCA brakes, that's what we're talking about. And you saw that happen there. We saw, you know, the 70, Rick Evans did everything he was supposed to do. He was hitting the brakes, slowing down, and he just got ran over by the 91 whenever we saw the 13 loose in front of him. I mean, the 13 was going to wreck regardless into the wall. He was trying to gather it up, but a lot more cars could have been saved if they just hit the brakes. Which we've heard, the car has no brakes from many drivers, but a lot of other ones are like, you anticipate it then. So I can imagine that's what the spicy radio is about.
You nailed it.
It's almost as if I've been around this for a while, this group.
Well, I mean, that's 90% of racing is anticipating what everyone's going to do next, what the guy in front of you is going to do, what the guy behind you is going to do. If you know what they're going to do, if you know their modus operandi, you can prepare for it, you can get in front of it, and ultimately use that to your advantage to work your way up the field. Brute force will not work tonight. Tonight, it's all about strategy, and it's all about car management.
There was something apparatus. What was that you said?
What? Apparatus says what?
It sounded like you said Brutus Apparati or something like that.
Brute force will not work tonight.
Okay. It was before then, but I'm not crazy, right, Ryan?
Tonight.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Ryan's just gotten professional at tuning me out. Let's just be honest.
No, I'm not tuning you out. I actually was somebody connected to the session here, and I was like, are they still part of the league? So I was looking at it into that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
so sorry. I absolutely was tuned out.
Green flag back in the air. Leonard Favignano, the 67, the control car, and the 87 got a big jump. Doesn't look like a whole lot was happening there on the outside lane there. Some guys got caught sleeping.
Lots of guys caught sleeping on Favignano, and you cannot do that. He's had 6 wins this season alone, and he's looking to lock up number 7 tonight. And if that happens, that could reshuffle everything going into Charlotte next week.
Getting tight off of 4 right there. That's going to be Ryan Steinhoff. And Brandon Buggs, sorry, we got the wrong driver on there, but Ryan Steinhoff started 10th, and right now he's in 9th, fighting for that position, but he had a real good run happen, and he hits the wall. Lots of damage, holds the brakes. A lot of guys trying to avoid, and there it is. There it is. Lots of ARCA brakes in the back right there. That's not gonna make anybody happy.
So he got slapped there by Nick Gould. We saw this happen live. He got slapped, saved on the bottom, but then he just got full into the brakes there after he got it going straight.
Yeah, that's what it looked like here. We'll go ahead and get a tighter shot on it here, but yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh, Gould came down right into his door.
Yeah. Which I understand if you're sideways, you want to lock it down, but he had that car somewhat. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Flex Seal can't
get
save
the flex
that.
tape out.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Look at that tire.
Yeah, it's destroyed. He cannot. Yeah. Oh, I know what you were talking about. Yeah, no, he was trying to get that car completely stopped, but he had no steering. Bearder gets some damage there, and look at Cleveland gets in the wall, escapes, just barely gets by there. But this is where all the ARCA brakes start to happen, right here. And we'll see it on the blimp camera because it's going to see it probably the worst, actually. So we're going to go back to, let's try in 3 here. And here it is. Guys just running each other over. And I think the worst one was that 05 just didn't get the memo. Right in the back of the 91.
What about this car coming up here on the left there? Is that Jeffrey Spells? You betcha.
Yep, and he Cole trickled it. We got to back that one. That is impressive, actually. We got to ride on board with that one. I don't think anybody's on pit road, are they, Tony?
Nope, not right now.
Okay, here we go.
We say that's impressive, but we're talking about ARCA braking. I mean, there is zero braking there. There may be a little bit. He got off of it.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to slow it down.
Yeah.
There you go. So, unfortunate there for Steinhoff. We were just talking about him having a great, aggressive start there and had momentum rolling there. But, yeah, Gould just came down and body checked him straight into the wall. So that will force Ryan Steinhoff to come down pit road and use a fast repair. Not what he wanted to hear. So, any further spice on the radio we're hearing? Anybody?
Not at the moment. Nick Gould did confirm he was just trying to keep it out of that outside wall and got down a little too far off the wall and got into Steinhoff there.
That's what it looked like. It looked like he was just tight off of 4 and tried to avoid the wall and unfortunately came down and wrecked the 74 instead.
What is with these cars? Sorry, no. What
go ahead.
We had 2 cautions Monday, and now we're already into what, 4 cautions? They're not even how many laps in? 22 laps in.
We haven't got a green flag run in yet. No.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Well, again, this is a completely different car. It's a night and day difference from the truck, guys. From everything from the aerodynamics to what's underneath it to making it work out there. These guys have to be patient. They have to be cautious. They have to be able to manage the apparatus that they have underneath them. If they cannot manage that apparatus, it's going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning. Like a washing machine on high cycle, and nobody wants that.
I totally.
Unless you're watching clothes, then maybe you might want that. I don't know.
Somebody is asking for a quick repair status. I will happily oblige. We have Robert Webb has already used both his fast repairs. That is the 91 down at 17th. Ben Tuttle down at 16th has also used both of his fast repairs. And then Jeff, I'll try and go slowly here so you can get the cameras on. We got Joe Ogle has used one. Jeffrey Spells has used one, the 70 or 13. Rick Evans has used one, the 70. Clayton Cyrus has used one, and James Hilton has used one, and Kyle Cleveland.
And it looks like Clayton Cyrus was the lucky dog on that one. He will get back on the lead lap. And we're going to be restarting this race because the lights are off on the pace car. I'm hoping we're going to get some racing in at least. You want to see how crazy this is? Let's ride on board with the 81 on this restart. If you want to see how nuts it is for these drivers, going through a sequential gearbox, anticipating the car in front of them on this restart, this is what it looks like right here. And we're going to ride on board with Brandon Buggs here on this restart.
And again, Bugs is third in points as the pace car goes down pit road. He's got to have a good free start, and he's got to have it right now in order to try to take away the lead, or at least keep up with Wes the Mess. Into the Geico restart zone, green flag flies.
I just noticed you can see his little feet down there.
Yep.
Oh,
Got
so you can.
The little slippers
pink
on.
shoes. His bunny slippers.
Okay, don't make fun of the pink Nikes, man.
Look how straight he keeps that wheel off of four, or off of two there, and four. You see how he's doing that to the left there? He's just barely turning that wheel and getting it as straight as possible. That is saving that right front.
Yeah, Jeff, you and I talked about that when we were racing on Monday. Just trying not to move your wheel past what it was for us. It was the oil gauge, oil temp gauge, or
Yep.
sort of the water. One of the gauges, anyways.
One of them.
And it worked, man. Because when I was driving, I could tell I was saving my tire more than the guys in front of me, and I eventually caught them. But we're gonna go back here. Jeffrey Spell's losing some speed as Rick Evans takes the what spot is that? The 15th.
Yeah, 13, and Jeffrey Spell's really having a rough time with this car.
But he did have that great save, and I think he's a little bit more confident behind the wheel of that machine. I think he's really got a chance to make some noise tonight if he can keep it clean and if he can keep it going the right way.
And we've talked about confidence, like you're saying there, and it really does matter, especially, you know, after having an incident or getting in a wreck or something. It's hard to find your footing, but we're starting to see a lot of guys starting to do it now, which is refreshing.
To borrow a word from Demi Lovato, what's wrong with being confident? Nothing, especially if you know how to run this car around this very difficult track.
We know who likes to do that, and that's the 67 Favignano. Got the win on Monday in the Truck Series, and he's pulling away now with a second lead.
Jason Lance now one second behind him. Gray 2 seconds behind him. Graham almost a time zone 3 seconds, almost 2 seconds total behind him. Favignano's got something underneath his car. He's figured this track out for some reason, and I think it's gonna be. I think everyone else needs to kind of calm down and figure out what they're gonna do, because if they try to charge him now, they're gonna burn up tires, and that is not gonna be helpful as this race goes on.
You know, looking at that 81 of Brandon Bugs, he had the pole on the truck race, and then things just didn't work out in his favor, missing a shift and having some bad racing incidents. But look at how aggressive he's being right here. And I think he knows that the fine line between saving too much and when it's time to go for track position. And that's the reason why he's right there in the 5th position. Just 3 in a line right here, racing for that position right there, 4th. Can I say position anymore? I don't think so.
Well, the Bugs is in position 4, and Favignano's in position 1, and they're racing for position right here, and that's Wes Graham in position number 4. As we're riding on board as if the rear of this position number 4, as we see Barry Bugs trying to keep up to the rear bumper of that 88 car in position 4.
Okay.
Position.
Starting to lose its meaning. You see right there, the 87 fading the car. That's the diming in the corner we're seeing there. See how low he gets there? Because he's entering the corner much higher than the 88 is here.
And that's what we talk about when we talk about diamonding this track and running the apex of these turns and being able to navigate them so well. If you're able to do that, if you're able to figure out your braking zone and navigate that turn smoothly, you can really get a run on these track, especially as those turns rubber up throughout this field. Now, that being said, if you can't figure that out, if you have problems, especially that 13-mile-per-hour tailwind going in off of turn number 2, it is going to be a major issue for your car, for your run tonight, and that's what we'll call set cautions after cautions.
You think that wind is why we're seeing a lot of guys struggling with the car out of 4?
I think that wind is definitely playing a part in it, but I also think that, again, you know, they're not used to running that double wishbone suspension and the higher horsepower in these cars versus the trucks. I think it's a little bit of a wind, and I think it's a little bit of degree of difficulty that comes with these brand new Cup cars.
Jeff, I'm watching that timing screen. I'm seeing Jason
Whoa.
Lance stick. Oh,
81 out of line. Big move there. Almost had an incident there off of 4. He's going to try to gather back up. Hits the apron there, trying to hold on to that car. Sorry to interrupt you there.
that is okay. Good save by Bay Area Bugs to keep it straight. He's on the radio. You can tell he is a little poo came out on that one because that was a little too close for comfort as he gets it going straight as he's going to try and regain his positions, but he falls all the way back down to 10th place. And Jeff, what I was saying before Bugs decided to interrupt me with his terrible driving was Jason Lance has not completely fallen back from Favignano. Looks like they're kind of a two-horse race up front as he's still maintaining about just half a second behind Favignano and closing. But enough of that. Look, we got a battle here between Guzman and is that Orendorf? No, that's Joe
Ogle. Yep, in the 55. We saw him earlier with that incident. Joe Ogle is on the lead lap in 13th after starting 11th and having that big incident early on. 24th he fell back to, but right now he's on a tear. The 81's still having problems, and the 81's around.
Uh-oh.
Lot of damage to the left side of that car. I don't think it's been driving right since that problem happened.
He might have knocked the toe off it, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, and we've talked about, you know, with this new next-gen car having that rear suspension, that independent rear suspension, they have their own toe links, and if you break that right rear toe link, you're driving the car loose like you see there.
Yeah, he might have broken a toe link on one of those four double wishbones back there, and that could be part of his problem. He can come down and get one of his two quick fixes and get back on the track. The problem is he's going to need a little bit of help from Favignano and company to get some yellow flags out if he wants to get his position back. That could spell tragedy for his championship hopes.
9 of James Hilton going down a lap right there as Favignano does lap the 89. But yeah, what's the story, Wishbone?
Wait, is that my nickname now?
Oh my God, that show with the dog.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Wishbone. Every time he says it, it reminds me of it.
Stupid
Jack Russell Terrier.
Russell. Yeah. What story, Wishbone? Sorry.
Wow,
really funny.
That was a reference.
You don't
yeah,
know that one, Joe?
better believe it.
You know what? I was not a Wishbone fan growing up.
I like the Wishbone. Well, we had Arthur. Well, we had Magic School Bus, then Arthur, then Wishbone came on. And if you were a diehard, you were going to watch Wishbone.
No, I turned it off by then.
87 of Gray, really having a hard time with the car as well. So let's ride on board with him.
Nick Gould getting out of sorts. Everybody getting out of sorts here, Jeff, off of turn 4.
Yeah, you see right there, it's no problem. But when we have that tailwind hitting you right here, watch what happens. It upsets the car into the corner. You're driving it tight here, and then you think you're going to commit back to the throttle. Then you're dealing with it being really loose off of 4 there. Well, he did a much better job that time to make me look bad.
All right, Ryan. So you weren't a Wishbone fan like me, but I will ask you this: is there still a voice that keeps on calling you down the road where you'll always be?
Oh my God, is that?
Yeah, you know that reference.
Is that Littlest Hobo?
Yeah, there's a Littlest Hobo reference.
I never watched that one either. That one was before my time.
Me.
That's pure Canada right there.
That is pure 100% Canadian gold. That is, if you're a Canadian child of a certain era, you know that. You're singing that song right now.
Guys, 81 in trouble going down a lap here with the 67 right on the tail. Needing a caution really bad right now.
Yeah, I've been in that spot where you wreck you kind of wreck yourself and you're like, well, no caution. It's almost a case of if you're gonna wreck it, like do it right. Like may as well like be so bad it's
caution
good.
Comes out. Nick Gould in the wall, hard hit.
Now the question is did the 81 stay on the lead lap when that came out?
He did not. He is down a lap, so he will be fighting for a lucky dog, but don't count him out. He needed this.
He might actually, because he did not.
Lucky dog.
I was about to say, because he did not bring out that caution
he
flag,
will be the lucky dog.
Be the lucky dog.
That's true. And well, everybody's gonna come down pit road. We'll see what happens here. That's why we are gonna try to figure out what happened here with Nick Gould, but we don't want to miss the pit stops. Looks like we're having a lot of iRacing issues here tonight. Sorry about that.